The guy just touched the stone lion at the entrance, but he accidentally found a lottery ticket. He took it to the lottery office to cash it in, and it turned out he had won 70 million. But when he got home, his mother wanted to put all 4 apartments in his brother's name. With 70 million in his pocket, he suddenly didn't want to pull it out. It wasn't about showing off, he just wanted to see how this family would treat him. If he had nothing, the answer was right there on the table. For property deeds, and none of them had his name on them. Fine. His mother froze, unable to believe what she was hearing. What did you say? I said fine, the 4 apartments can go to my brother. His sister-in-law's eyes lit up, and she couldn't hide her smile. His brother let out a sigh of relief and leaned back on the sofa. He grabbed his coat from the back of the chair and put it on. But I have one condition. Everyone stared at him, terrified he might change his mind. From now on, he is responsible for taking care of you. Food, bathing, doctors, hospital bills, it's all on him. I won't be involved in any of it. The living room fell silent again, but this time, it felt different. His mother opened her mouth, closed it, and opened it again. Finally, she smiled, but it wasn't a happy smile. It was like she had just told a joke. With your 5,000 a month, if you leave this house, you'll end up eating dirt. He didn't turn around. He walked to the door, bent down, and changed his shoes. His sister-in-law's voice came from behind, dripping with venom. Go ahead, leave. You think you've grown wings? Well, fly. And don't come crying back when you can't take it anymore. He tied his shoelaces at the exact second the door shut. He heard his mother tell his brother, don't pay attention to him. How long do you think he'll last? He slipped his hand into his shirt pocket. The corner of the ticket was slightly creased, warmed by his body heat. 70 million. He walked down the stairs in the dark. After 28 years, it was time to leave. The next morning, he took a half day off work. He went to the provincial lottery center to claim his prize. The process was more complicated than he thought, yet also surprisingly simple. The paperwork was complex, but the result was straightforward. After taxes, he was left with 56 million. He stood in the lottery office, staring at his phone balance for 10 seconds. The number was so long he counted it over and over. 56 million. The August sun beat down on the asphalt like a steam engine. He stood on the sidewalk, not knowing where to go. Before, his daily route was always the same: work, rental apartment, work, rental apartment. Sometimes he'd get home and hear his mother nagging him as usual. Look at your brother, why can't you learn from him? And now, 56 million was sitting in his account, and nobody knew. Not a single soul. He bought an apartment. He didn't pick the most expensive one downtown. He chose a nearly new place on the west side of town. 3 bedrooms, 2 living rooms, a south-facing balcony, 138 square meters, for a total of 3.8 million. When he paid in full, the salesgirl's hands were shaking. Not because 3.8 million was a huge amount, but because his clothes didn't look like those of a cash buyer. An old gray t-shirt covered in pills, and mud on the hem of his pants. She probably thought he was running an errand for his boss. But then he swiped his card and looked at the receipt. Her face completely froze, but she didn't ask a thing. Professional. He liked people who didn't pry. Sunlight poured through the floor-to-ceiling windows, filling the floor. There wasn't a single piece of furniture. Everything was clean, spacious, and so quiet he could hear his own breathing. Come by this afternoon to pick up your things. Your brother wants to turn that room into a study. Her tone was exactly the same as yesterday. Her breathing rhythm hadn't even changed. It was as if giving the 4 apartments to his brother never happened. Or rather, in her world, it wasn't even worth thinking about. Leaving the houses to the eldest son was just normal. Okay, I'll be there this afternoon. Family affection doesn't last long. At 3 p.m., he arrived at the old house. His room was already almost empty. The bedsheets were thrown on the floor, his clothes stuffed into 2 garbage bags, and his books treated like trash. 1. Pull out that nail. 2. If someone gets hurt, don't blame me. And don't be mad at mom. Your brother is under a lot of pressure. The whole family depends on him. As long as you can support yourself, you're good. You've got it easy. In a few days, your sister-in-law will introduce you to a girl. She meets your criteria, so don't be too picky. He walked toward the door with his luggage. His brother stepped out of the master bedroom. 1. Work hard out there. If anything comes up, call your brother. He patted his shoulder with just the right amount of force, just like when he was little and his brother took something from him, saying, don't worry, your brother will buy you a new one later. But he never actually bought him anything. 56 million minus 3.8 million for the apartment still left him with 52.2 million. He locked his phone and rested it against the car window. Outside, buildings, trees, streetlights, and billboards faded away. Only he kept moving forward. Just a box of books, himself, a 3.8 million apartment, and a bank card with 52.2 million. He ordered a mattress, a blanket, and a pillow, but they wouldn't arrive until tomorrow. Tonight, he had to make do sleeping on the floor. When he lay down, the white ceiling gleamed. The new house didn't smell like anything. No pickled vegetables from his mom's cooking, no perfume from his sister-in-law, no cigarette smoke from his brother. It was as clean as a blank sheet of paper. Everyone thought he wouldn't survive outside that house, but they didn't know one thing: even the ground he walked on was brand new. On his 4th day after moving, his sister-in-law called. 1. Are you free today? I set you up on a lunch date. He was going to decline, but what she said next made him change his mind. The girl's conditions? Pretty average, basically just like yours. You two would be a perfect match. Don't be so fussy. Perfect match? She didn't even ask where he lived or how he was doing. She jumped straight into organizing his life, as if she were doing him a massive favor. Okay, what time? Noon at O'Hayway. I already booked a table. You have to come. Buying all those things cost him less than 100,000. For someone with over 50 million in cash, it was basically like spending $10. But when he headed out, he still wore that old, pilled gray t-shirt. Not to save money, but to test exactly how far they would push their luck. Tap below to watch the full episode.